Assalamu alaikum. I'm public school and college everyone. It's the second year biology lecture. Chapter number 18 chemical coordination, and the topic is hormones and endocrine glands. Yes. Last chapter we discussed it was about the nervous coordination that was related to your brain and the spinal cord. Now it's chemical coordination that takes place that takes place inside of the body in internal organs where if any if any reaction gets disturbed here, then the certain chemicals come over here to handle the situation. That is a chemical coordination. And for this purpose, you know that the glands are responsible in your body, and that glands are the endocrine glands which are present in the body. Now let's start it. That what are the hormones and how they are helping for the chemical coordination and what are the glands, how they are handling our chemical coordination system. Okay, so let's start with the glands. Glands are the tissues, you can say, that release products are known as the secretions. These secretions are called the hormones. The two types of glands are present in your body. One is the endocrine gland and the other is the exocrine. Now see the difference between the endocrine glands and the exocrine gland. Endocrine glands secrete their products hormones into the extracellular space or around the secretory cells. So simply you can say that these glands are ductless glands. They secrete their products or secretions into extracellular spaces around the secretory cells. The secretion diffuses into the capillaries and are carried throughout the body by the circulatory system. So simply you can say that for endocrine glands you don't have proper duct system. They are ductless glands. They secrete the secretion of hormones in extracellular spaces from where they are diffused to your blood capillaries. Next is the exocrine gland. Just like your tear glands present in your eyes, they are they are having the ducts, the proper ducts for their secretion. Secrete their products into the body. Ducts which carry the products into the body cavities, the lining of an organ, or the outer surface of the body. So the sebaceous glands, mucous glands, and digestive glands, obviously, they have the proper ducts for their secretion. That's why they are called the exocrine glands. So here the difference between endocrine glands and exocrine gland is clear. Is this I want to know that is it clear to you students?
Yes, miss.
Okay, see the next. Hormones, the chemical messenger. Now let's see what are hormones. You are known about the glands that they are the tissues and they are producing the secretions. Now let's see the secretion that which are known as the hormones. What can be its definition? Hormones are conventionally defined as organic substances produced in small amounts by specific tissues, endocrine glands, secreted into the bloodstream to control the metabolic and biological activities in the target cells. So, the area where the secretion goes and do work over there, that area is called the target cells. That needs to be balanced, right? And the secretion which are secreted by the glands are called the hormones. And they are organic substance and they're produced in small amounts. Fine? They are regarded as a chemical messenger involved in the transmission of information from one tissue to another and from cell to cell. Just take an example of insulin hormone that is secreted by the pancreas, right? Pancreas is pancreas is a gland, right? The gland is secreting one hormone, and that hormone is the insulin. So, what is the area? What is the target cell? The blood in blood, the sugar level become rises to control it. What happened? Your gland secrete the hormone called the insulin. So you can say that in blood, where the concentration of glucose is rises, this is known as the target cell, right? And the hormone is insulin here, which is known as the chemical messenger. So hence the target cells and hormones are clear to you, students. Yes, please. Answer me. If you can't answer, then raise the hand, please. All right. Okay. I have seen your response. Now let's start with the hormones that are called chemical messenger. If we see the discovery of the hormones. In 1902, Wallis and Starling prepared an extract from the duodenum which stimulated secretion of pancreatic digestive juices when it was injected into the bloodstream. They called the product secretin and the coined term hormone meaning to excite or to set in motion. Hence, Wallis and Starling, these two scientists discovered the hormone that helping to they are helping to perform some activity or to maintain the body problems is called the hormone. Okay, chemical nature of hormone, you can see here that we says hormones are the chemical messengers that regulate and control body activities. Two types of plants are there which secretes the hormone, the endocrine glands and the exocrine glands. Now let's see the types of hormones. Now we are going to see the chemical messengers, like these are our hormones. Hormones are the chemical messenger. Now we are going to see its of classification of hormones or types of hormones. So basically, we have divided hormones into its two types. One is the steroid hormones, and the other one is the non-steroid hormone. Right? I'm going to discuss them one by one. If we see the non-steroid hormones, they have been divided or categorized into amine hormones, peptide hormones, and protein hormones. Okay, let's see. This is a diagram which can tell you about the endocrine glands and exocrine glands as well. As this is the secreting cell, fine, and this secreting cell is sending its hormones in these blood vessels, right? And the blood vessels are giving this hormone towards the specific area where the balance is disturbed and hormone goes over there to handle the situation. And this area is called the target cell. Okay, hormones are chemical messenger. we see this non-steroid hormone, the amine hormone. The first one is the amine hormone. Components. What can be the components of this hormone? It is made up of amino acid with modified group. Like this amine hormone, amino acids with modified groups. In it, you can see there are the amino acids. Like, and they are making one hormone. The amino acids are making one hormone. Let's see how. You can see that here is one amino acid derivative, tyrosine, right? This is the structure of tyrosine. Here its benzene ring is replaced by the carboxylic group norepinephrine, and it is making one hormone called the norepinephrine, and this hormone is made up of amino acid. That's why we say that it is amine hormone, which is non-steroid hormone. Okay, next class is the peptide hormone, which is also non-steroid hormone. Am I audible to you? Is my voice clear to you all, students?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I was telling you about the peptide hormones, that they are having short chains of amino acids. You can see here the example. One amino acid, one peptide hormone, which name is oxytocin. It is made up of short chains of amino acid. Like you can see there is glycine, leucine, proline. These are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. These total 9 amino acids are making one hormone. So simply you can, they are making, obviously when amino acids join with each other, they make a bond between them. That bond is known as the peptide hormone. So these are the peptide hormone. Its example is the oxytocin. Oxytocin is a hormone. It is a short chains of amino acid hormone. These are short chains of amino acid hormone. Okay. It's also a non-steroid hormone. Next to it is the protein hormone. You can see here human growth hormone is here its example, and the in this protein hormones, the human growth hormone, you can see the structure. These are not short chain amino acids. Like we know that when many amino acids join together, they make structure of the proteins, and proteins are of different types. If you remember, the primary, secondary, tertiary, quaternary, and you can see here these are the long chains of amino acids. These are not short. So the difference between the peptide hormone and the protein hormone is about the length of amino acid chain. In that one, it was short chain amino acid, but here it is long chain of amino acids. That is a human growth hormone. Okay, next it is about the steroid hormones. We have discussed with the non-steroid. Now let's come towards the steroid hormones. Here you can see that these steroid hormones are derived from the lipids. You can see here the type of lipids. The cholesterol is given here. This is a steroid hormone. This steroid makes the progesterone hormone that is derived from the lipids cholesterol here. So this is the structure of progesterone, and you just need to remember that progesterone is a hormone which is produced from the lipid, which is produced or derived from the lipid cholesterol, that is a steroid, and hence it is known as a steroid hormone. One main difference you need to remember between the steroid hormones and non-steroid hormone is that steroid hormones include lipids, right? They include lipids, while the non-steroid hormones are produced from amino acids. So you need to remember this. Okay, next. Okay, now let's come towards the modes of action of hormones. You have seen the types of hormones, that there are different types of hormones, and they are derived from their different derivatives. Okay, now let's see the modes of hormone action. We know that hormones are the chemical messengers, and they are protein and peptide hormones. If you remember, these are the non-steroid hormones. Let's see how a hormone is working here. If you can see in outside environment, here is one hormone in the blood, that is the epinephrine. This is a hormone, right? And here you can see this is a cell membrane present here. In cell membrane, you know that it allows few substances to come across, and here are different proteins that allow that act as acceptors here, receptors here, and they accept the hormones and let them come inside of the cell, right? So epinephrine is a hormone here. It is getting inside the cell membrane with the help of a protein and making a protein coupled receptors, right? This is a coupled receptor protein which is accepting this epinephrine hormone. Now, when it comes inside, it gets attached with G proteins, that this G protein with epinephrine activate the adenyl cyclase and enzyme, right? So you can say that epinephrine here with protein coupled receptor is a first messenger, right? It is giving message to this. Now it is working with this G protein and activating adenyl cyclase, and hence it produces CAMP, cyclic adenosine monophosphate, that is second messenger, right? It was the first messenger hormone. It activated this enzyme and it is known as the second messenger cyclic adenosine monophosphate, which activate the protein kinase. It is actually in inactive form, this protein also. The kinase A protein is also in inactive form. Now this cyclic AMP join with this protein and it makes it active, and hence it is giving two functions here. So basically cyclic adenosine monophosphate, that is acting as a second messenger, it is doing two work here. One is the inhibition of glycogen synthesis and second is the promotion of glycogen breakdown. So the hormones function is here about the inhibition and the promotion of glycogen. Are you done with this mode of action of hormone, that how hormones are working in your body? How they are,
Yes, ma'am.
yes, how they are working on target cells. Next to it is another example about the steroid and thyroid hormones, as it was the example for the proteins and peptide hormones that are also known as the non-steroid hormones. Now let's see the steroid and thyroid hormone. If we see its structure here, the steroid hormone, you can see here, this is the steroid hormone, right? And this line is showing the cell membrane area, right? Now what happens, steroid hormones get inside of the cell in the cytoplasm. Here, binding of steroid hormones to a receptor. Obviously, here is also one receptor present on the membrane. When steroid hormone attached with this receptor molecule, it makes one complex here. This complex is now about to go in the nuclei. This is the blue area is showing the structure of the nucleus, right? And you know about the structure. This is the nuclear envelope of nucleus, and beside it you can see here the pores of the nuclear pores of nucleus. And now the steroid receptors complex is going inside of the nucleus. Translocation of steroid receptors complex to nucleus. Now it is here in the nucleus. Third thing, what is it is going to do that binding of complex to DNA regulatory site. It is attached with the DNA. This is regulatory site. Here this hormone is reached, attached with DNA. Now what it is doing here, this is the target cell. It is doing its regulatory function here. It's doing its chemical action here. And then what it is doing, from DNA it made one messenger RNA. You can see this yellow rod here. This is a messenger RNA. So this process, the synthesis of messenger RNA from DNA with the help of this hormone is called the transcription. Then this messenger RNA moves out of this nucleus, here the messenger RNA, and producing different proteins here. That is called this process is called the translation. The synthesis of messenger RNA, the synthesis of protein, like you can see here, this is the messenger RNA. It is synthesizing new proteins. So this process is called the translation here. Now different proteins are here, the steroids and thyroid hormones, and they are responsible for different functions here, like in men or in males, capability about the voice, that their voice is different, their pitch is different from the female. This is just because of also these hormones, and hormones work like this to show the male characteristics. So it can be different. Are you clear with this steroid and thyroid hormones? That how this steroid hormone is getting inside, doing the function of transcription and then translation, when it is making one protein which is responsible to handle the traits in persons, like in males, it is producing the secondary characteristics. That is a function of this steroid hormone. Clear?
Yes. Yes, ma'am, clear.
Okay. From here, you can see that the next thing is about the neurosecretory cells. Do you remember the structure of the hypothalamus? Hmm? Hypothalamus, right? Neurosecretory role. Hypothalamus and its neurosecretory role. If you remember, this hypothalamus is present in your brain, right? And beside it, you notice that there is one glands are also present there, which is known as the pituitary gland. So what is the function of the hypothalamus? We can't say that only glands are producing the hormones, but here our hypothalamus is also having one role for this secretion. This is the neurosecretory role. That it is, what is neurosecretory role? What are the neurosecretory cells? Any idea about it? They secrete the secretions which are responsible to make certain hormones, right? So beside the pituitary glands, hypothalamus is also responsible to secrete different hormones. We will see it in our next lecture, inshallah, because our time is ended here. I have taken your time. It's your second lesson now.